Welcome back to Cardcaptor Sakura Anime Review, Part 16. This time I'm reviewing the first 5 episodes of the sequel series, Clear Card, and its Preloom. Before I get to those particular stuff, you see, with this particular series, does it have the same dub as the first series? Nope, completely new set of dub actors. And it's all Funimation regulars. Here's who voices new characters. Sakura is voiced by Monica Rail, aka Bulma from Dragon Ball Z. Cerberus is voiced by someone named Makila Kruns. Tomoyo is voiced by, in this series, by Natalie Hover. That's a voicer. Toya is voiced by Clifford Chaplin, aka the guy who voices Bakuto from My Hero Academia. Yokido, who was referred to this one as Yokido, he has a slightly different pronunciation. Both him and Yu voiced by the same person. Justin Brenner, the guy who voices Deku from My Hero Academia. Yep. Shaoran, aka, he's voiced by Jason Leberson, I think it's pronounced the guy's name. Yeah, he is known for voicing characters like Levi and the Millennium Earl from D. Gray Man. He was in Black Butler. He's in Attack on Titan. He voices the Beast Titan. He voices D-Bai from My Hero Academia. And Black Clover, he voices Mars. And he voices Larcy Dragonel. Yeah, the guy who appeared briefly in the second arc of the series. Let's see. There are other ones who appear in this particular series. We have Sakura's father, who's voiced in this series by Jason Douglas. Yep, that's who voices him in this series. Let's see. Rika, who's one of Sakura's classmates, she's voiced by Alex Moore. Yamazaki in this series is voiced by Alejandro Sab. Chitaru is voiced by Joe Harris. Nukio is voiced by Dana Chambers. Mizuki, who does play in the series, she's voiced by Morgan Grat. Ariel has a new voice actor for this one. Now, in the film, he's voiced by Johnny Umbash. Awesome actor he is. In this series, he's voiced by Mikhail Saros, I think it was his name. Spinel is voiced in this series by Apple U. Ruby is voiced by Alexis Tipton. Yep. We also have a new character appears in the series. Appears in episode 4. Akio Sakamoto, voiced by Amanda Lee. Interesting. Yep. Now, basically for these episodes, first we have the prelude, which is sort of a bit of a closer adaptation of the manga ending of the original Cardcaptor Sakura series. I'm a little surprised this series is for. It's the only second series I've seen like this where they kind of have this prelude episode to a particular season, and it's sort of redoing the actual ending of a previous season, either because it was terrible, though here's the thing. The anime actually goes with, when it comes to the first episode, it kind of goes with the ending of the previous series over this. Yeah. Now here's the thing about this particular series. Now, it is still done by, I believe this is still done by Madhouse. Yeah. Yeah, Madhouse is pretty much the same. It's the same studio, though they actually the series some updates. Like we see an iPad, we see a laptop, we see the animation is much more fluid and a lot more. Those of you who probably have seen a lot of Madhouse's recent works, this is done in the recent style that they're known for doing. Yeah, the style they did for like One Punch Man, Hunter x Hunter, that style. Yeah, because it's been at the point when this series first started a couple years ago, it actually, like, when this series first started, it was the first time the series, the characters were brought back in 17 years. Yes, the series only aired from January 7th, actually just last year. From January, basically, that's released over here last year. It aired from September. Actually started from January of last year to June. Yeah. The prelude is Sakura and the Two Bears. Yeah, it's a bit of a retelling of this one, like Air goes back to England. But he actually talks to Sakura before he leaves. And they actually go visit Ariel's house before he goes back to the UK. Yeah, as for the reason why he goes to the UK, yeah, why he has to go back, well, the series doesn't give a real reason why this is. Not even the previous series bothered to give an explanation why. Maybe because his task was done, they don't really say why he goes back. But at least they can show like a little bit more new footage here, like of like like having Kiro and Spinny basically having a fun playthrough. Ruby basically just having some fun, having a little chat with Spinny, and of course everybody goes back home. And of course, well, they used to have a slight change here. Now, at the end of the previous series, Sharu Lee confessed to Sakura he loves her. In this series, they actually have a slight change here. He goes to a park with no battle basically going on and confesses to Sakura he's in love with her. And then basically he finds out later on that he is actually going back to Hong Kong. He says he has some stuff due to Hong Kong. That's the reason why he's going back. What that stuff is never explained. Neither in this series nor the previous one. He just goes back. Now, they do have another slight change here. Now, the last time Sakura sees him before he goes off to Hong Kong, in the previous show, it was at the airport. Somehow she got past security. This is, of course, before 9/11, because here's the thing. Nowadays, you can't have someone who's not boarding a plane go to the gate to go onto the particular plane itself. Yeah, you can't actually do that in current day. You can't do it. You have to say goodbye to them before you go to the massive security in order to go to the airport. Yeah, but that was pre 9/11. Nowadays, basically, you have to basically say goodbye to people before you can go through the bag, before to go to security, to go to the terminal, basically, to go to the gate we're supposed to go to in order to get on your plane. I know because I've gone on several planes past like 12. Basically, I've gone on planes semi-regularly, like several plane flights last 12 years. That's all I know. The change here is that Sakura meets up with him at the bus stop. Yes, a bus stop. Okay? And I'm wondering though, now here's kind of the strange thing. Now, there's reference later on when he comes back, and his butler, the one we was seeing in the previous show, he's referenced, but he does not make a physical appearance in the series. Nope. And of course, talk about me a little bit later. So, Sakura gives him her bear that she makes, like a pink bear, and he gives her he already apparently off screen. Now this is also another change that he gave her his gray bear that he made, which is something he didn't do in the previous show. She somehow got asked when the heck this happened. I have no idea, because in the previous show she got the bear when he was at the airport. Yeah. Of course, they also took out his phone call from his mother. Also, the cell phones look a little... Actually, one thing I do appreciate, though, is that the cell phones actually look different. Now, in the Prelude episode, they're basically the style of cell phones they had in the original show. When they jump ahead to the actual Clear Card series, they actually use smartphones. Not the first series I've seen use smartphones. These following series I can think of that have used smartphones in the series. This one, Sailor Moon Crystal, My Hero Academia. I'm trying to think, was there any other series that uses smartphones? Of series I personally watched. Let me think. No, I can't think of any. Not even One Punch Man. I don't think that one uses smartphones. No, I think this is probably like the third or fourth show I've seen that actually has a character. Oh wait, yeah. Oh yeah, Hunter x Hunter is definitely another one. So it's Hunter x Hunter, Sailor Moon Crystal. This is actually the fourth series. I've seen where the characters actually use smartphones. Oh yeah, and one thing I do appreciate about the series is that on the phones they actually keep the honorifics for certain characters. They don't address these characters by those names. On Sakura's phone, when Xiaoring calls it, it's like Shaorukan. In the case of everybody else, it's basically how about Shun. In the case of Yukio's phone, if Sakura's calling him, it's even Arrow's got the same thing. It says Sakura-chan because everyone in the series calls it in the manga. Yep. So he goes off, and they jump ahead. What looks like about a year later, where Sakura actually has gotten a little bit taller. She's looked like she's grown about 3 inches, and she's actually about a year older, and she's going to middle school. Yep. Seeing Shara basically loves to see this. Like, talk about having like a watch party. They also talk about this in the pilot episode as well. And then the prelude episode ends with her reuniting with Sharon. Yeah, they didn't say anything in the next episode, but it seems as though even though this episode was to bridge the gap between the previous two shows, this episode has really nothing to do with the actual show itself. Because when the show starts properly, it doesn't really talk about this one at all. Nope, it just falls on the previous show. Next up is the clear cards. Basically, first day of school, new uniform. Her father's a little surprised to see her in the new uniform because she's so used to seeing her in the elementary school uniform. Yeah, anybody who's probably watched the previous show probably see her in the previous one. This one has different. Doesn't have like the neckerchief like the previous suit did. This one still has the skirt that she wore in the previous show. The only difference is they change her top. That's a big change. That's one of the two changes they make. The other is the fact she doesn't have to wear a hat to school anymore. Yeah, they don't have her wear a hat. Probably because she doesn't really need to. So, basically, she goes to school, and, well, stuff proceeds normal, and it's revealed in this show that Rita basically did not transfer to this particular school. She got transferred to a different school. Yeah, I don't know why this is. No, the series doesn't bother to explain why she couldn't go to the same school with her friends, but at least everyone else did. Yep. And of course, Sakura thinks that she should have a watch party for all these flowers. This is actually a setup for I believe it's episode 5. Yeah, this is basically a setup for the 5th episode of the series. Yeah, for flower viewing. Yep. And of course, after school and way home, she does run to shower and she basically hugs him. And of course, there is a change here, like in the prelude. Now in the prelude, it's just basically them hugging. It's some from a different angle this time. And of course, Tomoya was there recording, as she still has a recording camera, and she has a different one. This is probably for the third one she's had, because the first one she had that was destroyed by Shao when he was under control of the string. This one, I'm not really sure why to replace this one, because this one looked like the same design as it was in the previous show, the first one, but it's a bit of an update. But I kind of think, though, it's recent, like as of like 2 years ago. Why would somebody need a recording camera? Yeah. Especially since, well, here's kind of the thing. If people want to record something for a camera, we have a smartphone. Yep. Though they don't bother using that. And then the episode kind of ends basically with her having a dream, setting up the premise of the actual series itself, where the cards have turned blank. Yep. They've gone clear. Yeah, so she gets up basically in a huff because, well, she wants to check on the soccer cards, and they turn all blank. Even Kiro's surprised to see this. So next day, they go visit Yukito. And apparently Yukito does know about Kiro. Somehow. Despite the fact in the previous show. Now, it's never thoroughly explained of how the heck he found out, because in the previous show, Yukito never found out about Kiro at all. And yet, somehow he did eventually find out at some point. It must have happened at some point between the show. Yep. So they go visit Yukio. One of 2 times in these 5 episodes, they go visit Yukio. And it's revealed all the cards are gone blank. And of course, Sakura gets a new key. Yeah, now apparently her original staff that she got from the first show, this staff is perfectly fine. It still works. It's just that the Sakuras have turned blank. At this point in the series, they have not bothered to explain why the heck this even happened. Heck, even the manga, which is not even finished yet. Yeah, the last chapter, I'm not sure when, I read the chapters released. Yeah, by the most recent chapter, doesn't bother to explain why the heck these cards were blank for. Yeah, they're just all blank and they're see-through. Yeah, Yokito himself, Yu is actually quite surprised about this. Yes. And, yeah, and of course, well, then later on she uses her staff to basically go off through this strange wind. Yeah, it turns out it's a card, and then she uses a new sequence to transform. Apparently this staff is bigger than their normal staff. This thing is like really long. Yeah, it's basically as long as almost like it seems like it's almost half a length of a giant of let's just say Ariel's staff. It's about half the length of that. Yeah, it's look like it's the same design as Sakura's normal staff. I mean, the bottom is still pretty much the same, except the top is different. It's got big, huge wings, a star with like a little circle and like little dots around it. Like it's an upgrade from her previous staff. Now, here's kind of the strange thing. As far as I can tell, she still has the previous staff. It's just that she's not using it right now. She's using the new staff. Yeah, she still has her own magic. So she basically captures new card, and it's called Gale. Okay, Gale. In case you're wondering, how many cards did she capture over the course of 5 episodes? I think about close to about 6. Yes, because this one episode captures 2. And in the very next episode, Sakura in the room with no exit. Yeah, this one is basically Tomoyo comes over and has a slumber party with Sakura, and, well, something weird happens when they're in Sakura's bedroom. Yeah, this strange looking cube thing. Revealed to be a balloon. Yes, it's made of rubber, and, well, how should I put this? Yeah, so basically, Tomoyo came over to try to have Sakura try a new costume, because, well, still a new costume, she loved doing it. And, well, like if she still had her little. Now, this she also had in the previous series, so it's like this little, like a wristwatch bracelet with little needle pins on it. Yeah, my mom has got one of these, so it's basically a tomato, but she doesn't have like attached to her wrist like I have my wristwatch. Yeah, she'll like, well, look up beside my pin, so she pokes it, seals it up, becomes the Siege card, which is the form of a giant rubber cube, which is a balloon. Okay, fine. And then we have next episode. Well, actually, first we have the high rain alert. Yes, where it's kind of like a big rainfall, and look up. And of course, there's also revealed in this episode that Sakura applied for the cheerleading club, just like she's in the previous series, and Tomoyo chorus club like usual, Chatsuru cheerleader club, Yamazaki lacrosse. Yeah, he actually, despite the fact he was asked on the basketball team, he filed for, he basically applied for lacrosse, which he got. As what the other girl's up to, yeah, I think she joined the drama club, if I remember. Yeah, she joined the drama club. They all got in perfectly fine. And because of heavy rain, they ate all the lunch inside. Because whenever they lunch in the series, they always eat outside. Now, in other anime, whenever characters have their lunch, they go to the school rooftop. In this show, they don't do that. They have gone to the rooftop before a few times in the series. Not to eat lunch, they use just to have a conversation or to do some action with. Never to have an actual meal. They just go on the lawn and have a picnic. But because in this episode, the whole the heavy rain alert, it goes all the heavy rain, they all inside, and of course, and they all eat a meal made by Sharon. Yep. So they all go home, and at one point, you have Tomoyo and Sakura basically having a Brillo, and Sakura, apparently, she's the first person to notice that it's raining. Yeah. So Tomoyo asks, "You have an umbrella?" She says, "Yeah, I folded an umbrella. I usually take with me." So you might need it. Yes, they go rain. They basically run. They walk for a while under the umbrellas, and then they at one point they can't see, so they go under these look like a gazebo. hang out for a while, and realize this whole rain is caused by a card. And then she just uses the gale to help her transform the back to a card called Aquaria. Okay, yeah, a water card. So we have so far a wind card because she always has a wind card. That's what she had in the pilot episode of the first show. So why not this one? The second episode, a rubber balloon. Okay, and then now we have a water card. Okay. Not the same way as it was in the previous show, but okay. Next up, the transfer student. This is what Akito basically first shows up in the series. Yes, and this is one of the most bizarre episodes of the whole series. Like, we have the transfer student, we have her basically having lunch with them, and have going to class later, and then Sakura does something really weird outside. A tree moving by itself. Okay? And then she got upset when a bunch of other trees start marching across the frickin' school lawn. I'm like, doesn't anybody in the school notice what the heck is going on? So she goes outside and she uses the siege card and the watery card, the Aquarius card, aka the water card, to trap these trees, transform back to a card, and it's the action card. What does this card do? Make stuff move. That's pretty much it for this one. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to mention the heavy rain. They also had the heavy rain thing. That the Aquarium one basically took up half the episode. The second half, you have Sakura basically in the field. At one point, it looks like everybody disappeared, and so she uses reflect. Well, she finds out that it's a card, basically using Gale. Once again, she loves using the windy card, so the card to use as wind, so she knocks against the thing, and they transfer back the card, and that's pretty much it when it comes to that. Next episode, basically the characters have their flower viewing. Yes, the flower viewing. Yep. Yeah, they also briefly in the last episode of Sharon contacting Ariel. Yeah, Ariel basically was asked by Sakura for some advice. He doesn't give it yet, but they're building up to something, but who knows what it is. So next episode, the flower viewing they mentioned back in the pilot episode. So everyone goes out to the park, their flower viewing, and they had the funny little moment with Kido, with Toya eating her rice balls, and Yukio calling up to Superior lunch, like sure. Look up Kiro brought her lunch too. Yeah, and of course Kiro basically teases her about sleeping with a pillow. Yep, despite the fact she's a middle schooler. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot to mention, Toya is in college. Yep, in college. Okay. Interesting. What college does he go to? It's never mentioned in the show that I can think of. Yeah, they don't mention what college he goes. He just simply goes to college. Because in the first show he was in high school. This show he's in college. Yep. So, the parents are at lunches. They go to the park, have the flower viewing. And of course, Sharon is late. Yep. And at one point, on the way there, she gets pulled by something. I thought it was like another wind, but no, it's revealed to be something else. Yeah. So then she's forced by this strange thing that's pulling her. First to put her shoes on, and when he gets on this blanket, they have to take her shoes off. Okay. So basically, she runs across, goes to this other giant cherry tree, which has this big, almost looks like a gravity well on it, and then just basically having her using a siege card, and then having the card transform into a clear card, and it's basically the gravity card. Now there's also, I'm gonna talk about and then of course they have everybody go to this particular tree, much bigger tree to do flower viewing, and then Sauron shows up. He basically reveals he already had lunch, but he has second lunch anyways. That's the episode. But there's also a minor subplot in this series. There's a subplot involving, in Sakura's dreams, there's a person in a cloak, in a blue cloak with a little bit of yellow on it. Who this person is, completely unknown. Even by the last chapter I read, they didn't bother to answer this question. It's like, who the heck is this person? And why? And apparently Sakura sees the person's face. The person looks kind of like her, and it's about the same height as her. Yeah. But not much else to say about these 5 episodes. A really good, nice way to start out the show. But no one can deny, if you watch these 5 episodes, yeah, the fourth episode is the most bizarre one. Yep. So yeah, that's it for this particular review. I have roughly 3 more videos I'm going to do. Newest chapter My Hero Academia, newest chapter Black Butler, and newest chapter Fire Force. I think newest chapter Fire Force. That was the newest episode of the anime. Well, it turns out there was no episode. I forgot. Yeah, the next episode not going to air to October 11th. Which is until 2 weeks from now. Yep. But until you see the next view, which will be My Hero Academia. Bye.